Live here on rock100diz.com and, of course, holisticlifestylesradio.com. And over there with John Hollis over there. And thanks to our sponsors. Here's the YouTube segment, dlmsuccess.usana.com. That's dlmsuccess.usana.com, our nutritional partner. And it should be yours also for your nutritional needs. And, of course, Rev 3, home of Rev 3, which I love, natural energy drink. Anyway, we're talking about what some of the things that were in the news. Almost like my blog says. I wrote a blog, thedopedoctor.com. Go to thedopedoctor.com and check it out. External victories are defeated by internal losses, because that's exactly what we see going on. We see these external victories like Ben Roethlisberger, top quarterback, franchise quarterback, does great on the field, and then he's not doing so well off the field as far as presenting himself, I guess, in the manner that they want him to present himself. Therefore, they're shopping him around. And another Pittsburgh guy, Santonio Holmes, apparently couldn't stop smoking pot. Allegedly. That's all I can say, because I never saw the drug test. But allegedly, he couldn't stop smoking pot, so they shopped him out. Take a first-round draft pick like Santonio Holmes, Super Bowl MVP, and trade him for, I thought it was a fifth. You said it was a seventh-round draft.
Well, look, let's just say for six.
Either way,
we'll compromise. They gave the guy away.
Either way, they gave him away. And Pittsburgh Steelers definitely showing a message of it's more important how you behave. Not more important. It's equally important for us how you behave off the field.
Character counts.
Character counts. And then we have my favorite sport of boxing. We have Edwin Valero, who I had been waiting to fight. I've been waiting to watch him fight big names like Pacquiao, and he was in the running. Bob Arum was going to promote a fight between him and Pacquiao. Here's a 27-0 boxer from Venezuela. Not only 27-0, all 27 by knockouts. The first 18 were first-round knockouts. Exciting for a featherweight or lightweight, because you don't see lightweights ever knocking people out at that kind of rate. And drug and alcohol issues again, allegedly. Gets his title stripped from him, called him champion in recess, because he ends up getting accused of beating his wife, who ends up with a punctured lung and a bruised rib. They force him into drug treatment, or anger management and substance abuse treatment is what they called it. And then 3 weeks after that, she ends up dead in a hotel room. He admits that he did it. While he's walking out, they arrest him, and then he hangs himself. Those are several examples of external victories, meaning victories out in the real world, as far as profession or whatever, but getting defeated by the internal losses, not being able to fight the demons that make you do things. So what's your first thoughts on that?
Well, I think that it's pretty common that a lot of people spend a great deal of time and energy on either what they do or on putting up this external facade, and how they look. Spend a lot of time at how they look, and very little time about their substance and about what they are.
Yeah,
and I think it says a lot about kind of the Botox world we live in.
Yeah, the Botox world.
And it's
I'm so pretty.
Yeah, it's style over substance.
Yeah, and remember, we did the show on the difference between doing and being.
We did.
This is a perfect example. We just did the show not long ago in regards to too often we're focused on our professional job. We say that's who we are. I'm a boxer, I'm a professional athlete, whatever. Instead of working on the characteristics inside.
And the world and the headlines are just bearing out what we said.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And, it's sad. It's very sad.
And we're seeing more and more of it. You know what I mean? We're seeing more and more of it. And I don't know if it's just because we're in a TMZ society where it's just really, popular. This is what we want to see. Or it's just that it's no longer taboo to say these things. Maybe they used to get sued when they would say these things in the news, and now they're not. I don't know. Chris, what I was telling you, look, we have a local story. Here's a 12, 13-year-old kid in the middle school the other day.
He was selling drugs.
Gets arrested for selling drugs in his school. He had pills on him, he had pot on him, blah, 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 whatever.
He had everything. This kid had everything.
He had a little marketability to him.
And they're showing his face?
He showed his face on the news.
Showed his face on TV.
He was the elementary school pharmacist,
and his name.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yes.
But the thing is,
they're outing him.
They showed it. Yeah.
But
I've never seen that done before.
Never.
Yeah,
Right?
Never.
They never show
Not a
the
juvenile.
This is a 12 or 13-year-old kid. You know how livid I'd be. All right, let's say my child did it, but you're going to put my child's face on television, on the evening news. Where's the innocent until proven guilty? Where is, come on, man. What are you doing to this kid?
Juvenile records, when they are guilty, are sealed.
I didn't need to see
But
this.
they showed his face.
And they're expunged
I thought,
when they turn 18, right?
we were talking about
Yeah,
that.
I didn't need to
thought
see that.
You couldn't do that.
I didn't think so
I
either.
didn't need to see that. And here we have memorials. How often, city of Orlando, have we had individuals who overdosed, who died, who have been victims of, and they're not even on the news. They're not on the news.
And you know what channel it is, too, Doc.
Those are better stories.
It's channel.
What do you mean? You're saying you're saying that a little 12.
Oh my!
You're
We're not pulling any punches today.
You're telling me
ready to fall over the
that it's more newsworthy to show a little kid dealing drugs than it is that this disease is killing kids? That story of that kid dealing drugs in his school is not preventing any child from using drugs or alcohol the next day. Not one. Not one kid is going to be influenced to not use drugs or alcohol the next day because the news the day before showed a classmate dealing drugs. However, you show the reality of some of these kids dying due to a mixture of Xanax and alcohol or OxyContin or whatever.
Oxys and Xanax.
You
alcohol,
show
yeah.
that and you do stories on the reality, how it's really hurting your next door neighbor. Then I guarantee at least one child won't use drugs the next day. And that is what upsets me about how this whole thing plays out. Because it's still for the extraordinary instead of for the reality. Look, all of us need to be a lot more conscious. And this is when you say I'm preaching or getting on my soapbox or whatever.
Preach, preacher.
But it needs to be done. It needs to be done. Stop focusing on how great things are. The thing I like about this sports thing is that it allows young people to see it and say, all right, I need to work on my performance now. I need to work on my attitude and behavior now. I have a football player in my office yesterday, young juvenile, wants to be a professional football player. He's taken this story in a positive manner. So you see, I want to be a professional athlete. And if getting off of marijuana is going to make me 1/10 faster and it's going to get me looked at by the scouts, then that's what I'm going to do. He's taken the right approach. He's a young guy. He's taking this story that the Pittsburgh Steelers are doing, and he's making it work for him. And that's what I'm saying. These kind of stories help, and then the other kind of stories showing the little kid that's dealing drugs, that doesn't do anything. It just scares parents.
Dirty laundry.
It just scares parents, and it makes parents look at the school and look at someone else's kid and says that your kid is a negative example. Get him out of school, and my kid will do better if your kid wasn't around. Anyway, that was our YouTube segment for The Couch Live. Go to thedopedoctor.com to read further blogs. Follow us on Twitter. And thanks for dlmsuccess.usana.com for the sponsorship. We'll be back on The Couch Live right after this.